We say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live on the road today. We're here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street, right down from Best Buy on this Wednesday, final day of the month. Hard to believe it is here, and it is. We're talking May tomorrow, May Day. Unbelievable. Mother's Day this month coming up, or next month, and, of course, Memorial Day, so it is here. And we're glad you're here again on this Wednesday where we're selling the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich flying out of here. The grilled, the spicy, the original, that's the specialty sandwich. And, of course, the dragon fruit. Yep, the pineapple dragon fruit. Got two of them here. They brought me two. So I said, yeah. Well, we brought you one by mistake. I said, no mistakes when you bring one of those to me. I'll wolf it down. So I got two of them to sip on throughout the show. So good morning. Thanks for being with us. Final day of the month. We'll be talking Major League Baseball. We'll be talking with Mr. Baseball himself. Going to be joined by Andrew Smith momentarily from the Johnson City Press. He will talk about high school baseball and softball. They start today in Northeast Tennessee, the tournaments. It's somebody's last day today on some of these games. We'll talk about that. Also, Major League Baseball, the NFL, NASCAR, got it all for you. We're going to try National Hockey League, NBA. Got a couple of teams moving on from last night, eliminating their opponents. So lots to talk about. Last night we did soccer. And we had a big time. It was Grady Swearinger with a goal for the Cyclones to beat Unicoi County 1-0. Jackson Miller, Grady Swearinger, and Tucker Taylor were our players of the game last night. So pretty cool. Enjoyed it. Eddie Morrell helped us. Eddie Morrell did it. I helped him, more or less. And so appreciate him stopping by. He's the T.A. Duggar soccer coach. We appreciate him very much and what he did and what he does. And what he did certainly last night to help us. So let's get going. Here we go. Who can do it today? Yep. How about Gabe Short? Gabe's not done it for a while. Gabe Short, National Anthem, bring it to us on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 2278 from Chick-fil-A in Johnson City.
And oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet waved o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's start with an interesting story. We'll let Greg talk more about it. He gets here in a little while, Mr. Baseball. Major League Baseball in the Summer Olympics next year. Problem. Summer Olympics, of course, take place during the regular season of Major League Baseball. And the participation of Major League players would require some kind of schedule stoppage on the Major League Baseball side of things, let these guys play. Wasn't an issue in the most recent Summer Olympics in Paris because baseball is not part of the programming. 2028 games mark the first time baseball has been part of the programming since the 2020-21 Olympic in Tokyo, when Team Japan won the gold, U.S. took home the silver. So, it's going to be interesting to see what Rob Manfred comes up with that, see how they do that. We'll let Greg talk more about that coming up, but that's a legitimate problem for Major League Baseball. They're going to want to play. And I understand that representing your country in the Olympics, which is quite an honor, but it's right in the middle of baseball season. So do you give them a pass? Do you stop the baseball schedule for a couple of weeks to let probably a handful, probably more than that, but not the entire Major League Baseball rosters of all the teams, obviously, playing in the Olympics, so it would be a scattering or smattering of folks. Do you stop the whole thing to let these guys play? Do you give them a pass? Do you keep playing? Do you schedule the Major League Baseball games around the Summer Olympic Games as far as coverage, which would be difficult to do, I would think. So we'll let Greg talk about that when he gets in there in a little while. Mr. Baseball, that's a legitimate concern. I don't know if it's a problem. I guess it is a problem for Major League Baseball guys. They want to play and represent their countries, and I get that. Now, the question is how many countries be represented. A lot of the Pan American countries, certainly. With the United States. Gosh, I'm sure there's guys in Major League Baseball from Canada, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, as I said, a lot of the Pan American countries. So there's probably, I'm going to guess, purely a guess on my part, maybe 10, 12 countries. Wouldn't think a whole lot more than that. So do you stop the whole thing to accommodate the guys from these 10 or 12 countries? I don't know. But that's a topic they're already talking about. It's coming up in a couple of years, so that would be something to weigh in, something to, I guess, consider. And there you go. So anyway, that's an interesting look at things. All right, let's take a look at, we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll jump in. We'll take a look at high school baseball and softball. Tournament play starts today. Elimination games of some of these teams, and so we'll take a look at that. We'll do that right after this break from one of our great sponsors. That would be probably the folks where I'm at today, the good folks from Chick-fil-A and that Cobb salad. Ooh, that's a good one. Cobb salad from Chick-fil-A and the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Hey, it's your girl Mayani. A little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the chicken, literally the nuggets, they smack. When you put those nuggets in the salad, it just brings the salad to life. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A market salad is that the chicken is super juicy and the apples can be a little tangy, also a little sweet as well, so there's just a ton of different flavors. It's just so good.
And again, with Double C Western Supply, a lot of Western stores out there. What do you feel like separates Double C from all the other competition?
I feel like there's a lot of things that separate us. Our customer service, I feel like we help our customers very well. I feel like we're very friendly, and at least we try to be. We strive to be a friendly, family-based business. I also feel like our prices are very good. I feel like we try to keep our prices and our merchandise to a point that the whole family can shop here. And I mean, some things do have to be a little more expensive just because of the nature, but I feel like we try to keep our prices down low enough. And just we're always just striving to get the next newest merchandise, the best merchandise that we can for them, and just we just try our best to do the best we can all the time. So I feel like, mainly that our customer service and our prices kind of differentiate us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Double C Western Supply on Railroad Street in Elizabeth. And again, social media, they're there, and also the website, doublecwestern.com. So, proud sponsor of the show, Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Miss Diane and the great folks at Double C Western Supply in Elizabeth. And be loyal, buy local, buy it in Betsy. Amazon doesn't sponsor your ball teams, but Double C Western Supply does.
Elizabethton FFA makes a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education. It's more than learning about cows. It's becoming the problem solvers for the next generation. We are the future biologists, chemists, computer programmers, journalists, teachers, electricians who will feed our future. By creating a family atmosphere, the Agriculture Department, especially FFA, can become your home away from home. Through contests, leadership events, fun trips, and chapter activities, FFA is a great way to learn about the world while developing yourself into the best person you can be. We invite you to enroll in an ag-based course and be active in Elizabethton FFA. We'll save you a seat.
And back at the top of the sports show, our first guest is here and ready to roll. Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Tom. Always a pleasure.
They're winning, so he's winning. He's wearing his Braves hat now. When they were losing, he had on some other team, the Rome Mosquito Nets or whatever it was. Who was it? What's their name?
Emperors, the Rome Emperors.
That was close. Anyway, they're winning now, so that's good. Braves are red hot. We'll talk about them with Mr. Baseball coming up here in a little while. The hottest team in baseball right now are the Cincinnati Reds. So Reds won 5 in a row, and they're bearing down on the Cubs in the Central. Braves have moved up. They're now, third place? Is that right?
Third place. Is, if they win today, they'll be back at 500. So.
Yep, they caught and passed Washington and Miami, so there they go. So it's a 3-horse race, as you figured it would be. You knew the Braves, all the naysayers said yes, but 162 games. The Braves started slow, and they're coming now. So he's wearing his Atlanta Braves cap. That's good. All right, so the NBA playoffs. It was some great games last night. Detroit stays alive to beat the Knicks.
Yep.
Celtics blew out Orlando. Let's see. My boys, Denver, stay alive. The Nuggets got a big 16-point win last night over the Clippers. And there's another one. There's one more that I'm.
Pacers took care of the Bucks.
Yep, Pacers and the Bucks are gone. Or the Bucks are gone. Pacers. So tonight it's Houston at Golden State at Houston. And you got the Lakers hosting Minnesota. Now, LeBron's crying foul. He said that they blew a couple of calls in the Lakers game, so he's complaining that the NBA admitted as such. I went back and watched it. Did you see the foul they said that they missed?
Yes, I did.
Did you think he tripped him? I thought he stepped on his foot.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't see why it was as big of a controversy as it ended up being there. I mean, if you wanted to call it, you could call it, but that could be almost any play in the playoffs. If you wanted to call something, you probably could find something.
Yeah. So I didn't get that one. So I watched that about 10 times, kept thinking, he stepped on his foot and fell down. I've done that myself playing. I don't see how it's a foul, but the NBA said no, they missed it, it was a foul, and I totally disagree. But I'm sitting here in East Tennessee, and I don't care what I think. So there you go. Hello, Carl Wilson. Hello, Reba Whitehead. Thank you, kids, for watching. So you have Houston Golden State tonight. Can the Warriors take care of business tonight?
I don't think they'll win tonight. I think Houston protects home court, and they'll force that back to the Bay. I think Houston's too talented. I do think Golden State ultimately will take the series, but I think Houston stays alive tonight.
The Lakers and the Timberwolves in L.A. Lakers win on home court or not?
Actually, I think the Timberwolves get it done. They've shown no fear.
Oh.
They've shown no fear going to Los Angeles in the first 2 games. And the Minnesota's just playing some really good basketball right now. Anthony Edwards could quite possibly be playing the best basketball of his career right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying a lot because he's had a lot of really good games, especially in the postseason throughout his young career. But, yeah, I like Minnesota tonight. I think Jaden McDaniels could have himself another nice game tonight, especially defensively. He's able to do a lot of really good things for that club. So, yeah, I think Minnesota gets it done tonight.
So why do you not like the Lakers, Tom? I'm a Celtics guy. We don't like the gold and blue, whatever colors they wear out there in L.A. We don't like them. Or I don't. So somebody asked me today, so we watch your show all the time. You don't like LeBron? I said, no, I'm not enamored with LeBron. I mean, he is who he is. But, no, I don't like the Lakers because they're the Lakers, period. The only Laker I've ever liked was Jerry West because he came from West Virginia. So do I appreciate him? Yeah. Do I respect him for the talent they had on the floor? Absolutely. That's phenomenal players in L.A. But do I like them? No. I'm a Celtics guy. So the Birdman, the boys, Parrish and McHale and DJ. And the Celtics this year, they took care, they blew out the Magic. So they get ready to take on the winner of the Pacers and the Bucks, right? Yes.
No, they will get the winner of Pistons-Knicks.
The Pacers are going to play the Cavaliers. There you go. All right. I was close, but no cigar. So anyway, the Celtics are playing some really good basketball right now. And so it's more than Jason Tatum, obviously, which it needs to be if you're going to win a championship. It can't just be Luka for the Lakers or Magic or LeBron. It's got to be a team. And you're seeing that from some of these other teams. The Nuggets last night, the big guy had a triple-double, but the big guy was Murray.
Yeah, Murray had 43 last
Yeah,
night.
so if you're going to win an NBA championship, you can't be one-dimensional. You got to have several horses to have to worry about defending. So there you go. Hey, we're live at Chick-fil-A. We're talking to Andrew Smith, sports writer of the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. We're fixing to get into baseball and softball tournament play. So the playing game today of interest for us, certainly, or for me, would be the 3A game being played at Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State, which is an awesome venue. It is Unicoi County. No, it's Crockett and Sullivan East. So the winner of that one will move on. The loser is eliminated. As we said, Mike Brenninger has told you all week long he is City stepping down as the head coach at Sullivan. He's going to step away and step down. So I would think they'll position this game up there in Bluff City to win one for the Gipper, keep it going. We'll see. Crockett's got a really good baseball team. I've seen them 3 times this year, and they are tough as nails. So that's going to be a tough game. Again, you throw out this is it. You got to do whatever you got to do to get to the next round. And once you get to tomorrow, then you're in double elimination. But you got to burn up an arm to get there. So you throw your ace, you throw the number 2 guy, you win, you keep going, you lose, you're done. So what's your strategy there, Manager Smith?
I mean, I think for me, this is an elimination game, so for me, I'm gonna roll with my ace.
Mm-hmm.
If we happen to jump out to a big lead early, I might not stretch him very long so I can come back later in the tournament.
Very smart.
But if that thing stays, hey, it's 3-2, 5th inning, I'm gonna see if I can keep letting that horse ride. He's got us to this point, so but if you're staring at a 9-0 lead after 2 innings, I'm not saying I'm pulling him right then, but I'm starting to consider, okay, if we stay about here, I might look to some other guys and try and have him come back later in the tournament.
I like how you think. So you got to win this one. So as Coach Corn said the other day, you got to win 2 before you lose 2 to get into the regional. So you got to win 2, basically, to qualify for the regional. But in this case, one of these 2 teams, and we're getting ready to do the other teams too, because there's some other single elimination games today. But you got to win this. I mean, it's just, at the end of the game, you got to have one more run than they do, or you're done. So I'm like you. I start my big hoss. If we got to ride with him, you ride with him. If you get a big lead, you can pull him and save him for later on in the week. You do, but I think you got to throw the big dog out there and let the chips fall and see what happens. I'm with you 100%. So it will be a big one today for Sullivan East and Crockett. That'll be played again, as we said, at Thomas Stadium in East Tennessee State. And 2A baseball today, you have South Green. Gosh, your print's small. Why you make me do this? That's all right. I can do it. We'll do it. Wow, jumps off the page. South Green, number 4 seed, number 6 seed Hampton, at 4:30 at Chucky Doak. That's in Pod 1 and Pod 2 in 2A baseball. Number 3, Johnson County, the Longhorns take on number 5, Happy Valley, at 4:30 at West Green and Mosside. So South Green, Hampton, Johnson County, Happy Valley. How do you see those?
Yeah, and 2A changed how they've done their tournaments from the district tournament from back in my playing days. Of the loser of the 4:30 games today still are not done. So basically, they're treating each pod as their own double elimination, and then you've got to come out of the pod to get to the
Did not know that.
get to the region
All right.
to play for the district championship. So the strategy for 4 teams playing early today is going to be different, obviously, from
Yeah.
East and Crockett over at 3A, because if you win this early game, you got to turn right around and play the host team
Yep.
later in the evening.
Yep.
And if you lose, you come back tomorrow for an elimination game and take on the loser of that game. So a little different, a little difficult for me to track when I first heard it.
It's kind of crazy. It's almost like this NBA thing we had last week,
A little bit.
the play-in thing.
Yeah, but at the very least, you keep it confined to those 3 teams for a couple days before you worry about anything else.
So South Green and Hampton play at 4:30. The winner will play Chucky Doak at 7 tonight. The loser will come back and play tomorrow. Correct?
Correct.
So I look at this and I'm thinking, okay, if you lose, you're almost in better shape because you get a day to rest. If you win the game tonight, you got to turn right around and play again against the number 1 seed. It's not like I don't think that's a big honor or reward to win. You got to turn around and play the number 1 seed on the same day. In this case, on their field. Check it out. In the second pool, or Pod 2, Johnson County and Happy Valley played 4:30. That winner plays West Green. Saw them the other day. They're a good baseball team. They're a real good baseball team. Connor Campbell, I think it was the kid's name, pitched for West Green. He's a stud. They are a very good baseball team. So that's the only 2A team I've seen this year. So I can say that with very little knowledge of anybody else. But I saw them because they played the Cyclones last week. Johnson County, Happy Valley, that winner plays West Green. And that loser of that first game, Johnson County, Happy Valley, goes back and plays tomorrow. That is kind of a goofy way to do things, but there you go. The 4A tournament starts this weekend at J. Fred Johnson Stadium in Kingsport. Home of the Indians are hosting, so break that one down. Who's the hot team there right now? DB, Science Hill, Westridge. Who's Daniel Boone? Who's your team?
Science Hill has probably played the most consistent ball out of any team of the 4 throughout this spring. They earned that 1 seed for a reason. I think they're a team that kind of can be a bit more than the sum of their parts in some respects. No disrespect to any of those kids. They've got some really talented ball players, but overall, I think that the ingredients are more than, or the end product's a little bit more than each of the individual ingredients, which I think's a tip of the cap to Ryan Edwards, the head coach of the Toppers there.
Mm-hmm.
So I like them a lot. Boone can hit the ball really well. If they are going to come out of this district, I think it's going to be because of their hitting. And Dobyns-Bennett's sneaky for me. They have some talented pitching. Cam Hayward, Tegan Begley, a couple really talented arms that I think if they can hit a little bit, they have a chance to get hot and make a little bit of a run here.
We're talking to Andrew Smith. We're live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on show number 2278 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Single A tournament starts tomorrow at TBA Credit Union Ballpark in Johnson City. Number 1 seed ranked in the state. University High, they can play against number 4 Cloudland. And the second game will be North Green, the number 2 seed. Number 3 seed is Unaka. All that at Cardinal Park or TBA Credit Union Ballpark. How do you like the 1A tournament baseball?
I think it's UH's to lose. I've seen UH a couple times this year. They made it to the state title game last year. I think they're poised to make another deep run this year. I think the only team in that district that can possibly give them fits is North Green, but I thought that in the regular season, UH just kind of very easily took care of North Green in their 2 meetings. So University High is really talented. They've got a deep lineup, got a couple really good arms, and especially in single A, that's a lot to handle for a lot of teams.
That's what you're looking at in baseball. Of course, our coverage starts tomorrow at 5 o'clock, 4:40 airtime. Audio only will be at Thomas Stadium against either Crockett or Sullivan East in that elimination game in 3A. Let's jump over and take a look at softball. The 4A tournament starts tomorrow at Indian Highland Park in Kingsport. The DB's hosting both the district team or the district tournament for the guys and softball for the girls. So tomorrow it's DB and Daniel Boone, number 3 versus number 4 in softball. How do you like the 4A softball tournament coming up?
Kind of like with the guys, Science Hill has kind of been the class of the league this year. However, Dobyns-Bennett, they are technically the defending state champs. Now, a lot of those players have come and gone. They still have a couple of holdovers there. But they've given Science Hill some fits at times this year. So I think DB can make a run. Boone is a bit young. It'll be kind of, I think, an uphill road for them, but they also have talent on that team. So, they have a shot there. And Westridge has some solid pitching, so they'll be in most every game they'll play in that tournament.
In 3A softball, the playing game is tomorrow. Tennessee High and Sullivan East, Lady Vikings, Lady Patriots tomorrow. It'll be in Jonesboro. That was supposed to be at Elizabeth this year, but with the construction of the Ryder Center for Athletic Performance and all the construction right there at the softball field, it's a mess right now. It's a good mess because we're building a really slick facility that nobody else is going to be able to say they have. So it is problematic in terms of parking, so they've moved the tournament. We'll get it next year. They moved the tournament down to Crockett and Jonesboro. That's why it's there. And so that's going on in 3A. In 2A softball and single A softball, what do you got? Who do you like?
Single A, I think North Green's been really solid this year. I haven't had a chance to get out and go see them, but I've kept up with what they've been doing all year long. Undefeated league play. Now, granted, none of that really matters once you start district play, but yeah, I like North Green there. Cloudland, feels like they're always kind of in it there as well. So North Green, Cloudland, I'll probably lean them. Unaka, outside shot to make a run to.
2A softball. Who's hot there?
South Green's been really good. They've been the class of the league this year. Hampton's had in my opinion, a surprisingly good year. They've won 7 league games this year. They've played well throughout the year. South Green, Hampton, maybe a Chucky Doak can get in the mix there as well.
That pineapple dragon fruit's really good. It's like a smoothie. Have you had one yet?
I have not yet.
Okay, I want you to get one today. That's your homework assignment.
Okay.
Are you a smoothie kind of guy?
Normally, no. Normally, I tend to go with like a lemonade or something.
Well, you get one of those too. There's 4 ways to get it: Sunjoy, lemonade, the frosted, which I get, or the tea. So, I would like to see your homework assignments. Get one to report back next Wednesday. What you think?
Okay.
I didn't know you played baseball. What position did you play? I'm going to guess. Let me see if I can guess. Look at your stature. Let's think, where would Andrew Smith play? First base, pitcher, center field.
You're 1 for 3 there. I dabbled a little bit in first base, but I was primarily a corner outfielder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Did not know you played baseball, so you speak with some authority because you played the game. So let's talk about your boys. They're playing some good baseball down in Atlanta. You got the ball cap on. So what about them Bravos? What do you think right now?
Yeah, they've been playing well. The offense has really come along during this, a little bit of a streak they're on. A lot of that been kind of some unexpected guys. You might expect it to be Ozuna or Olsen or Riley. They've had their moments, but they've not really been the ones carrying. Alex Verdugo's been hitting the ball really well, coming up from Gwinnett out of the leadoff spot. And funnily enough, 2 of the most consistent hitters have been at the bottom of the lineup, and Eli White and Nick Allen. You wouldn't necessarily expect that coming into the year, but they've both been swinging a hot bat the past week or so. So things have kind of been firing on all cylinders for the Bravos here.
Eli White and Nick Allen have been the big hitters for the Braves?
They've been some of the most consistent hitters, at least, yeah.
I've never heard of those guys, and I'm following Major League Baseball. So the big boys, Olsen's coming around a little bit.
Olsen had a 3-hit game last night. He's certainly not like he's not been hitting it, or Riley's had some good moments throughout this run, especially in Toronto. He had a bit of a run there last week, I believe it was, or week before. And Ozuna has just been very steady. He's had some bombs, but his big thing with him is he's just getting on base a lot. I think he's drawn. I haven't looked at it in a few days, but one of the most either leads the league in walks or is top few in walks drawn. So he's been getting on base, setting guys up. So yeah, it's kind of been a little bit of everybody, but especially what's been 8, 9, and 1 in Brian Sicker's order, and White, Allen, and Verdugo.
Getaway games today. It's an afternoon affair. Chris Sale will go over to the Braves, and they travel tomorrow, and then they open up the series this weekend. The Dodgers are coming to Atlanta. Ruh-roh. Be a good test, see how good you really are, because the Dodgers can play.
They absolutely can. We already saw them there in Los Angeles. First opening road trip. Did not go particularly well,
No.
but the things appear to be going much better offensively for the Braves. So I definitely think this weekend in Georgia will be a much better test than what it was out in Los Angeles.
Hope the results are different because they dominated them out at L.A., the Dodgers did, so they're playing good baseball. They have leapfrogged over the Giants and Padres. They're now the first-place team in the NL West, so the Dodgers are coming to town this weekend in Atlanta. Should be a great series. The other regional team, the Reds, will wrap things up with the Cardinals, and they will turn around and entertain the Washington Nationals this weekend. Whoa, that'd be a ticket bonanza. Go watch that game. The Nationals, not a very good team, but the Reds are. They're the hottest team in baseball right now. They won 5 in a row. So Terry Francona, the manager of the Reds, I think is a difference maker. He's told these guys, apparently there's a lot more discipline on the team, I'm reading, a lot more accountability than last year's kind of a free-for-all. And so now Francona says, we're going to conduct ourselves a little differently on and off the field. And it's, to this point, it's working. They started slow, but they've got some mojo. They're coming up through the rankings, and now they're currently second in the league chasing the Cubs. I think they're a game and a half out. So the two regional teams we speak of are the Braves and the Reds every show, and so I got a lot of Reds and Braves in town. Have you got your tickets to go watch them play at Bristol? Or will you get in free for being a media man?
I think we're going to – I may be part of our coverage for that, so I could be
that's his way of saying he's getting in free. That's what and that's okay. That's good. So
nothing confirmed on that front yet. If that gets denied, I'll probably will find a way to get tickets to it.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be
quite the spectacle, it appears.
Had Birchfield on yesterday. I said, what is the biggest crowd they've ever had in Major League Baseball? He knew it. L.A. Coliseum, 115,000. The Red Sox and I want to say the Dodgers, I think he said. Well, it wasn't that long ago they did it in the Coliseum. So they're hoping to surpass. I can't imagine them not doing more than 115,000 at that ball game because it's going to be the Braves and the Reds at Bristol. A unique, needless to say, situation and setting. So should be a lot of fun. And I've already had people, the naysayers, well, it's going to be a crummy, you can't watch it and you can't see it, you're being too far away. And I'm thinking, it's always something. Everybody's always got to be. Buy the stupid tickets, go up there and watch it, and say you're part of history. Same as a football game. That's all I heard was, we're too far away. Couldn't see the game. How can you not see the game at Bristol Motor Speedway when the football game? We're talking about Tennessee and Virginia Tech. Plus, they had the Jumbotron. How can you not see the game? Man, it's too far away. Had one guy tell me, this is great. So I just tuned people out. I went to the concession stand and bought the water. The water was hot. I thought, God forbid the water was hot. What in the world? What's this world coming to? A bottle of water does not ice down. It wasn't cold enough. Okay.
Not like that game was in early September when it's still pretty warm outside around these parts.
Lord. I've already had people complain about the weather. Now, the same people that bellyached about how cold it was.
Are there now?
Oh, the same people are complaining.
Yet right now.
Complaining about the heat. So, what do? I just tune them out. Say, okay, man, have a good day. I just keep trucking. It's just, it really just blows my mind. Because there's already people talking about, well, it's not going to be a real game. It is a real game. It's part of the Reds homestand. They play in Cincinnati. They come play Bristol. They go back and finish it up in Cincinnati. It's a 3-game set. It does count. It is a real game. Well, they're playing in Bristol. I know that, but it is a real game. It does count. It's not an exhibition. It counts. So there you go.
Yeah, no, even when Major League Baseball has done these types of games before, Field of Dreams games, those were real games. The game they played down in Birmingham last year, Rickwood Field, that was a real game.
Yeah.
International games, they go out to London, Mexico City, wherever.
It's a real game.
Those are real games.
Yeah. So what I'm learning here is to just take people and just go, okay, keep on trucking. Not go nuts. People complain about everything. Now, here's a question. I had the story this morning start the show. Olympics, baseball is going to be an Olympic sport in 2028 in Tokyo. Well, Major League Baseball is playing at the same time they are having the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. So Rob Manfred's got a problem because a lot of these guys want to play and understand that representing their country in the Olympics in Japan in 2028 in the middle of the summer, right smack dab in the middle of the Major League Baseball season. Commissioner Smith, how would you take care of that to make sure they can play? I don't know how many going to play. I would think, I don't know. It's not going to be everybody. You're probably, I would say, 100 guys maybe total. All these different teams, maybe a little bit more, but certainly not the whole league. So do you stop the league, let for the small fraction of the guys going to play? Do you alter the schedule? And you got a couple of years to figure this out. But Commissioner Smith, you're now the man. Rob Manfred stepped away. You're now the commissioner. What might we do to make sure this is good for everybody, sir?
I would look into what hockey does. During Olympic years, the NHL has an Olympic break there in their league schedule, and they still are able to keep things moving fairly easily. They've been doing that for a handful of years now, a handful of Olympic cycles now. So I would take some notes. I don't know if I'd copy it one for one, but I would definitely take some notes and inspiration from Gary Bettman and the National Hockey League and the way they structure their schedule around the Olympics so guys can go compete. Because we've seen the World Baseball Classic, which happens during spring training. One's coming up here this February and March in 2026. We've seen how fired up guys get for that. Imagine what it would be like for them to go in 2028 to Tokyo and go play Olympic baseball.
So you say shut them down, just let them play and then bring them back. Take a break.
Yeah, I would definitely want to give the clubs a bit of a heads up, especially for the pitchers, that hey, if we're going to let these guys go, we definitely want to kind of make sure they're handled properly. Don't go over there and, you know, need Tommy John and, you know, kill y'all's season. So definitely would have to be an orchestrated effort between the league and different clubs for guys that want to go play. But yeah.
So from a contractual standpoint, how do you handle letting me go play in the Olympics and I blow out an arm or blow out a knee or rip an arm up, got to have Tommy John surgery, I'm done. But I did it under the umbrella of the Olympics. If I'm a team general manager, how do I handle that?
I think you would handle that in the same way you would handle how the Mets handled Edwin Diaz during the last World Baseball Classic when he blew out his knee. There have been other injuries in the World Baseball Classic, or even just general off-season injuries that can happen. I think you would just kind of treat it as one of those. You don't love it. Obviously, you don't love it, but I think in terms of that side of things, I think you handle it in a similar way.
There you go. Commissioner Smith's got the answers for us. I appreciate that. So, let's see if I cover everything. What are you going to be writing? What are you covering? You'll be covering some of the tournaments?
Yeah, I'll be covering some of the tournaments. Tomorrow I will not be. Tomorrow I'll be heading over to Meadowview for the Big Orange Caravan. Coach Heupel, Coach Barnes, Coach Caldwell, Danny White, all of them should be in the building for that. And then Friday and Saturday I'll be covering, I believe, 3A. I'll have to double check that, but I think I've got 3A, but both Friday and Saturday.
So you'll be up there where I'm at.
Yeah, I should make my way over to Thomas, I believe.
Yep, Thomas Stadium. Beautiful ballpark.
It is.
East Tennessee State. They did it right when they built that ballpark. It is primo. Very, very nice. Big Orange Caravan is tomorrow night. Tickets are $30. Part of that goes to the ball NIL, so you're paying to go see these guys and ladies in case of Mrs. Caldwell or Coach Caldwell. So it's Heupel. Of course, Vitello won't be there. They're in the middle of the season.
They got Vitello won't be there. Karen Weekly will not be there, but
they got a big weekend series of Allsy with Auburn at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. So, but Heupel will be there, Caldwell will be there, and Rick Barnes will be there, and Danny White will be the athletic director. So, if you're a ball fan, there's only 3 stops. They've cut it down to 3 now statewide. They do one in Memphis, they do one in Nashville, and do one in the Tri-Cities. I don't know whether it's hype, but they always say, the UT folks say the best one always attended is the one in Tri-Cities. I don't know whether that's PR move to a lot of people. I don't know, but that's what they say, and I would tend to agree with that. It'll be a Meadowview place will be packed, and if you want to go there, what time's the start tomorrow night?
I'll be getting there earlier than the scheduled start time. I think it starts at 6. I think I have to double check the time for public entry. I'll be getting there at like 4:30.
Yeah. Did you get some interviews before everybody else gets there?
Yep.
You'll get the scoop before the masses get there to sign autographs, get pictures, and all that. So it'll be Caldwell will be blown away. She's already been blown away with the fan base of the Lady Vols, but she'll be blown away for these stops.
Yeah,
the Big Orange Caravan.
She was with it last year, but given the year of success they had, I would be very surprised if she does not see even more folks come by to visit her, to get pictures, autographs, all that fun stuff.
I got a baseball game where I'd be there. I'm on board the Lady Vols. I think she's an incredibly good coach, and Barnes is too, for that, and Heupel. If Heupel didn't win another game, what he did with Nico and how he handled that situation, I'm in his corner. I'm a Vol because of Josh Heupel, the way he said, Nico, adios, Kemosabe, we don't need you. Nobody's bigger than the T. I loved what he said about it, and he's right.
Yeah, it's like nobody's bigger than that power team, not even me.
That's it. And so if he doesn't win another game, which he will, I have the utmost respect for Josh Heupel because he stood, because it's amazing. I watched it. Now, you talking about, you'll get me on my soapbox here before I let you go. I watched about 10 minutes of that draft thing the other night. I thought, are you kidding me? You talking about making people idols? These are kids that catching the football and throwing the football. You would think they were gods out there. What was it? For the weekend in Green Bay, 600,000 is what they said. Just be standing out there in the cold watching the NFL draft, and I'm thinking, being the cynic that I am, I thought, now, how many of those people will be standing outside getting ready to walk in for a church service? Probably not very many. It's too cold. I'm not going to do that. We'll stand outside. The whole thing, it's okay. It is what it is. It's selling tickets in the National Football League, but I thought we missed it here somehow. We've got these guys up on the pedestal. It's really unbelievable. But that's me. So, and I do sports for a living, but I just thought it was interesting, the whole draft thing. So the Nico thing, I just think it's the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get crazier before it gets, since you and I met last week, Kentucky, their athletic department now went with LLC. They've now gone with an LLC, limited, whatever limited LLC means. I read that, something corporation. So you got Arkansas. That's it. Thank you. Limited liability. You've got Arkansas wanting money back from Madden. I'm leaving, and they should get it back. And so it goes on and on and on, and so we don't know what's around the corner, but it's crazy, it's nuts, and so there is no stoppage of what's happening. But we just report what goes on and keep us on trucking. So anyway, Josh Heupel went off on a trail here, rabbit trail, but Josh Heupel will be there tomorrow night. I have a lot of respect for the man. He stood up and said, nah. And here's the thing, is it's turning out, they were playing this game, money game, between he and the school during the Ohio State prep week. Yeah. He's trying to get this team ready for Ohio State, and Nico's saying, well, that's the 13th game. I was only guaranteed to play 12. I'm not going to play unless you pay me more money. Oh, God. Back when X getting on. Are you kidding me? Here's this team that gets this program turned around. He was in a dumpster fire when he took it over. Here we go, going to the college football playoffs, going to Ohio State, play the Buckeyes, tradition-rich Buckeyes out of the Big Ten. Everybody knows all the side stories of this game. You got this guy behind the scenes threatening not to play because it's 13th game and he's only getting paid for 12, and he's getting 2.8 for 12. He did. Let him go. UCLA, good luck. So, anyway, what's your take on all that?
Yeah, no, it was just bad. It was a frustrating experience for all. I would say, if there's anybody out there that has not went back and watched the Josh Heupel post orange and white game press conference, please go do yourself a favor and watch that. I was sitting there. I was in the muck of reporters sitting there for that, and that might be the best press conference I've heard Josh Heupel give in his time at Tennessee. He handled everything well. He answered everything thoroughly, didn't throw the kid under the bus. Had a little bit of humor in there at times too. Just overall a very well done press conference by Josh Heupel. If you didn't get a chance to see it a couple weeks ago after the spring game, so I would highly encourage anybody to go check that out.
I wish him well. Hope Nico does okay. But what he did to the team, how he treated the team, held the team up. Nah, you don't do people that way. But as I tell people all the time, the Lord died for him too. So it is what it is. I wish him well. I'm glad he's running a UCLA uniform now because we're a we team, not a me team. And so if you try and win with a we team, you're not going to win with a we team. I mean, the me team, you're not going to win. It's we or nothing. And so that's what he said. The Power T, nobody's bigger than the Power T, and I appreciate Heupel. I'm saying all to say he'll be in Kingsport tomorrow night with the Big Orange Caravan, along with, as I said, Coach Barnes and Coach Caldwell and athletic director Danny White. So at Meadowview in Kingsport, tickets are $30. I don't know if it's sold out. I don't know if they can sell it out. I have no clue what the max is, but I guarantee you there's a max. You're probably going to see it tomorrow night at Meadowview. And you will be there reporting it, and we'll be able to read it in Friday's edition of John City Press, right?
Yes, sir. John City Press, Kingsport Times News, both will have general couple hits from the evening.
What is your homework assignment today?
Is to get the lemonade version of the dragon fruit.
I'll ask. I'm a simple man. Just get that report back. Let me know how it goes.
Yes, sir.
Andrew Smith, sports writer, John City Press, Kingsport Times News. Back with more after this on the road at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're talking to Joseph Taylor, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. And what's going on at Ivy Hall Nursing Home?
Ivy Hall, we would love to have short-term rehab patients. If you go in for knee surgery, shoulder surgery, stuff like that, you need a little bit of rehab, please consider Ivy Hall. We have private rooms for our short-term rehab patients. We offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, full-time respiratory therapy. We'd love to take care of you.
Looking for help? Looking for folks to work here?
Absolutely, 100%. If you want to come in, if you're a CNA, LPN, RN, you want to work in dietary, laundry, housekeeping, we would love to have you. You can go to ivyhallnursingHome.com and fill out an application. Somebody will certainly call you back if you put in an application.
Yep. So all these different folks you take care of these different therapy programs, right?
Absolutely. We love the short-term patients. We love the long-term patients. Either one, we want to take care of anybody that comes our way, for sure.
Social media?
Social media, Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Facebook, and like I said, ivyhallnursingHome.com.
There you go. One of our great sponsors, folks. Love promoting them. Again, the great folks here in Elizabethton, sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports, Ivy Hall Nursing Home. We're talking to Sherry Holtzclaw, one of our great sponsors, the Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. A lot of jewelry stores out there. Why the Jeweler's Bench?
So everything is done in-house. Nothing gets sent out. We do ring sizing, necklace repairs, replace stones, shorten bracelets, necklaces. We repair silver jewelry. There's not a lot of jewelry stores that will repair silver jewelry. So we're one of the ones that do. Occasionally watches, we do some watch repair. Some of it we do have to send that out occasionally, but I'll let you know when I do, so it doesn't go out without you knowing about it.
Watch batteries. They replace a lot of watch batteries. Again,
every day.
Yes. John Holtzclaw is one of the few jewelry repair people in the area. There's not many of them left, so they do jewelry repair here. Remember that. They ship all over the country. The website is
jewelersbench10.com.
The hours you're open are
Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and then Saturday, 9:30 to 2.
All right. And social media, where do we find you?
Facebook and Instagram.
And the phone number is?
423-542-5600.
Be loyal, buy local. It's a mom and pop store. Been here for a long time here in Elizabethton, serving not just Elizabethton, but the entire Tri-Cities and really anywhere in the country. The Jeweler's Bench, proud sponsor of the Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Show number 2,278, as you see. We're going to way to 2,300 shows. We do have baseball tomorrow night. Cyclones in the winner of the Sullivan East Crockett game. We'll go in there at 4:40, audio only. First pitch at 5 o'clock tomorrow from Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State. Looking forward to bringing that to you tomorrow. And we'll play on Friday. We'll play on Saturday. It's double elimination. Again, 3 playing games today. Actually not playing games because, as Andrew pointed out in the 2A, it's a different format. So the one elimination game today is Sullivan East and Crockett. Playing that one again at Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State. I believe that's at 6 o'clock. Yep, 6 o'clock tonight. So the winner of that one will get the Cyclones, the number 1 seed tomorrow. And I would assume, purely an assumption on my part, Red Slade will be the man on the mound tomorrow for the Cyclones. And you hear Bryson Rowland in the double elimination. Mike Korn should be the coach of the year in a 3A conference. No question what he's done with his team and taking over Ryan Presno and got it going. So we'll see, but that's my take on the situation. But tomorrow it's double elimination starting the Cyclones and either Sullivan East or Crockett tomorrow night for the opening round of the 3 tournament double elimination at Thomas Stadium. And of course, you know what's in the forecast. It's been beautiful the last couple of days, so we start the tournament, and guess what? Afternoon thunder boomers. It's spring, and the hills of East Tennessee are on the forecast radar for tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. So we'll work around the rain and bring you ball games audio only tomorrow, beginning at 4:40 from Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State. All right, quick break. He's here, Mr. Baseball. We got lots to talk about. We'll do that right after this from Lingerfield Drug Center. You're watching show number 2278 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street, right down from Best Buy. Back after this with Mr. Baseball, Greg Salyer. Sports and Tom Taylor Sports Show. Pill packs. Tell me about pill packs.
Yeah, so these are good for people take 3 or 4 medicines, just kind of get confused by what they got or may forget to take doses or things like that. Other people that likes them is people caring for parents or grandparents. Makes it real easy rather than having to keep up with 10 or 12 bottles and remembering once a day, twice a day. You just come pick up these packs once a month and takes care of everything.
Show this one right here. There it is. Pill packs.
Mm-hmm.
Even they're color coded, so blue stands for nighttime, right?
Yep, that does.
So you'll do this for anybody?
Yeah, sure can. We can do anything just from once a day packs, all your medicines of a morning. Can do them 2 or 3 times a day, up to 4 times a day. For people, it takes 4 times a day medicines. But they're real easy to punch out, so you can just punch them out. That's your dose for the day or the time. And on the front of it's got a information page. It's got pictures of each medicine, tells what it is, and which doctor you got. So that's something when you go to doctors or a hospital or something like that, you don't have to try and remember what all you take or wait till they can get a hold of your pharmacy. You can just rip that page off and it's got all your medicines on there. So it keeps it real simple.
And if you're traveling and you don't want to take that whole thing, you just tear out the 3 or 4 days you're traveling, or the week at the beach or whatever, and they stay intact, and so you don't have to take the whole 30-day supply, just take as you need, and they tear off.
Yeah, sure can. And something else kind of similar to that, what we've heard from a few people, taking a lunchtime medicine, especially if you're still working stuff, because you don't want to carry 3 or 4 pill bottles to work, or if you put them in a Ziploc bag or something, they'll get crushed or lost. But you can leave your morning, night at home, just rip off a single noon dose and take that with you, because those little pockets, they're strong enough, you know, if you throw it in your pocket, your pills aren't going to get crushed or anything like that. So
pill packs, good. Another way customer service here at Lingerfield Drug Center. Hours are open?
Here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 12.
Social media, where do we find you?
On Facebook as Lingerfield Drug Center.
And the magic phone number is?
It's 423-542-2138.
What a neat concept. Pill packs from Lingerfield Drug Center. Proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Wow, that is a hoot. I said, is your mother watching? He said, she plans her Wednesday around this show. God bless you, that's all I'm going to tell you. So, Tom, you're so goofy, so there you go. Good morning, sir. How you? Actually, good afternoon. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. We got baseball starting tomorrow.
Woo-hoo. Yeah.
District tournament baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And winner moves on. Losers eliminated. Got some of those games going on today, so it's awesome. So we've got East, and the big one tonight is Eastern Crockett. That winner gets the Cyclones tomorrow as the number 1 seed. First time they won a regular season conference championship since 2021. So they're excited. We're excited. Audio only, which is okay. Prefer doing, well, no, I cut my teeth on calling ball games on the radio, so we'll do audio only. We'll do it. We'll let it rip. So, as Marty would say, we'll paint the picture for you tomorrow night at 4:40 from Thomas Stadium. You ever been in there? It's a beautiful foot.
I have not. I've driven by it numerous times, and I always said I want to go to a game there. And
it's beautiful.
Never have. Yeah, I want to do that.
Primo facility at East Tennessee State. We appreciate them allowing us to use their facility.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that. So, anyway, we got lots to cover Major League Baseball. So, is anything on the recipe on the menu board that we can get Ev to bribe her to make for us? Anything that?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, probably get something from her. Yeah.
What kind of pasta she's making? I'm a pasta kind
her
of guy.
spaghetti is really fantastic.
What about lasagna? She make pretty good lasagna.
She make that too. Yeah.
Mamma mia.
Yeah.
Ev, look at me. I'm whittling away to nothing.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not. Whoa. Wait a minute. Now let's let him get over and giggle all he wants to. I just turned his mic off. So there you go.
You got the same problems I got, Tom.
No.
We could both go about a week and and be fine.
There you
Just
go.
give us some water, we'd be all right.
That's it. Some water and bread. So carbs. Pasta is carbs, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some lasagna. Next time make some lasagna. Make me a little smidge, and I'll be most Appreciate that. All right, we got lots to talk about.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball. We're going to start with the New York Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
First team in Major League history to open a game with 3 consecutive home runs more than once in the season. Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge, Ben Rice go deep off Baltimore's Kyle Gibson last night. Then back in March, it was Goldschmidt, Bellinger, and Aaron Judge doing the same thing. That's a pretty impressive stat.
That's something you don't see very often. 3 home runs in a row to kick off a game, and now the Yankees have done it twice this season. So, yeah, that's a rare feat. And poor Kyle Gibson. I mean, that was a tough comeback for him because he's coming back from injury and first started the season. And
He got lit up like a Christmas tree.
he did. It was not a good night.
Not a good night for Kyle Gibson.
Yeah.
So the Yankees, so we talked all about in spring training. First part of the regular season, they don't have Soto. They're in trouble. Bauer in bad shape. Obviously, they're not. I mean,
They're
they may be
fine.
missing him some. And they don't have Stanton. They don't have Soto. And they're still beating the cover off the ball.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they're still the Yankees. So so they do have Paul Goldschmidt. They have Cody Bellinger. Trent Grisham has showed up last night, and he's hitting the ball really well himself. And Jazz Chisholm Jr. I mean, this team's not hurting.
no, they're all right.
Trust me,
They're
they're
gonna be
okay.
okay.
They're
Yeah.
okay. I was more concerned about their pitching, to be honest.
And it's doing okay,
And it's
too.
doing okay too. They're going to be fine.
Mhm.
Losing Garrett Cole, I think, was the big blow for them, but I think they're going to be okay.
Across town, Brandon Nemo. Second player with 9+ RBIs in the game in the 6th inning or later since it became official in 1920, which is really a crazy stat.
That is.
He had 9 or more RBIs in the game after the 6th inning. In the final 3 innings of the game, he gets 9 RBIs. Only other one's done it is Mike Moustakas. Did it back in 2015.
How many opportunities do you think you get to do that?
That's what I'm thinking.
It's very rare for anybody to even have that opportunity.
Exactly. I mean, you bat it around. I mean, to get up there and get a chance to get 9 RBI, you had to have what? At least
You have to have at least 3
at
at-bats.
bats. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, if you hit 2 grand slams, which he didn't.
Yeah.
But if you hit 2 grand slams, you still got to have another RBI.
Yeah. I mean, that's really an astounding stat
It
because
is.
it wasn't in the game in the last 3 innings of the game.
Yeah.
Wow. He launched a 3-run homer in the 6th and a grand slam in the 7th
Yeah.
for his 7th multi-homer game of his career.
And
So
then I guess had 2 more RBIs.
2 more RBIs in that last at bat.
Yeah.
Wow. So anyway, that's a record breaker for Brandon Nemo.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he played with the Kingsport Mets at one point. I'm almost sure he
I
did.
think he did.
He did start back when they were in the Appalachian League, the Mets organization. I'm 99% sure Nemo was in Kingsport at one point. So.
Yeah, I think he was.
All right, so you look at, so I got one more. Oh, yeah, the Red Sox last night.
Mm-hmm.
What did they do last night? They belted 5 home runs in the first 3 innings of their game over the Blue Jays, which is a record setter for them. And so they had home runs. Did your boy Devers hit one? He did.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He did.
So
He's come alive.
He has come alive.
We gave him a super hard time, and let's face it, he somewhat deserved it.
Yeah.
But
I'm off of him. He's all right.
yeah,
He's doing it.
But I mean, he started off the season about as poorly as anybody could.
Yeah.
And he's come alive, so it's good.
Yep.
We don't want to see anybody do horrible, no matter what kind of attitude they may display.
He's saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not that kind. There's a couple of guys I don't wish a whole lot for them, but you know, then I always think, okay, the Lord died for them too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it is what it is. All right, so we take a look. Here's your question. I posed this to Andrew Smith earlier.
Uh-huh.
So we have established that baseball is going to be an Olympic sport, 2028 in Tokyo. Right smack dab Summer Olympics in the middle of the Major League Baseball season.
Yeah.
What, Commissioner Salyer, will you do with that scenario? How many guys you think in the bigs will be? 100 people, 100 guys maybe playing?
Possibly, yeah.
That
yeah,
many?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the whole league.
Yeah, but
So you
it could
can't.
be a bunch of guys.
And I was guessing before you got here. I said probably United States being the biggie, probably maybe 8 or 9, 10 countries maybe of guys from different countries playing. Want to go back and represent their team.
Yeah, Japan would be big, of course.
Japan. I don't know. I guess Cuba's got a team. I don't know. Dominican Republic. I don't know who has teams, but a lot of the teams from the
Mexico probably.
Yeah, from the Pan American countries would be represented. So it's not the whole league. So what do you do to take care of that? Because it's going to be right smack dab in the middle of the major league season. Do you shut the thing down? Do you give them a pass, let them go play and come back? How do you handle that, commissioners out here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, so you don't shut anything down, but you gotta realize it's only going to be for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, question is, well, you say that, but they got to have a little bit of time
To get ready.
Yep. Even though they're in the middle of their season, they're still going to have to play together as a team a little bit.
They can't just show up and play.
Right.
Yeah.
So
there is some prep time.
there is. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they will handle that. I mean.
Hello, lady. How are you
you-
doing? Come over and give me a hug. She's a good one right there. Yes, ma'am. I love you too. So
So you'd like to see the best in the world play on that stage, but I don't know. I really don't know.
yeah.
Do you do like they used to do in basketball? And
Now Commissioner Smith said when he was here earlier from the paper, he said he'd do like the hockey league, just shut them down for a couple of weeks and let them play. But that's in the middle of the season. Then you look at that's a ripple effect. Because after I thought I was okay, it's a pretty good idea. But more I've thought of it since he's left, I'm thinking, okay, I'm a season ticket holder, and I'm coming to watch him play, and now all of a sudden I got 2 weeks of
off.
no season tickets, no chance to go watch him play, and I'm paying a premium price for a ticket. I guess they can prorate it. I don't know, but it's still rocking the pond. It's a ripple effect. A lot of people affected by that.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing you have to think about too, what's that going to do for guys that are like on a hot streak? You
Mhm.
know, is it going to cool them off? What's it going to do for a team that's maybe on a hot streak? Will that cool a team off? I mean, it could make a lot of changes to the outcome of the season. So I think you'd have to be very careful in how you decide to do that. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think the answer is college players.
No.
You know, I mean, they used to do that with basketball. Remember, the United States would always have college players playing against the world's best, and they would still win most of the time. Of course, that '72 team got the silver, and they never accepted them.
They accepted it, so we ain't taking it. So I don't think that's the answer.
No, I don't think that's the answer either. I don't know. I'm anxious to see how they decide to work that out because I really don't know what they're going to do.
Another ripple would be, and they may not have thought of this yet, but the teams that are going to get shut down during those 2 weeks, ushers, concession stand workers, souvenir shop workers, the parking, the economy that generates around the ballpark, outside parking spot, and all this stops. The money and the income coming in, people depend on, will shut down for a couple of weeks while they let them play baseball in the Olympics. I get it. I understand they want to go play and represent your country. I totally understand that. But I don't know how you're going to shut them down and let them. I mean, you can give them a pass. And, okay, Greg, you're from Canada. You go play Team Canada. See you in 3 weeks. And we just fill your spot. You come back. I guess you can do that. But then I send Greg. He goes to play representing Team Canada. Blows out an arm. Blows out a knee. He's done for the season. And now he's got to come back, and he's on my payroll, and I got to pay him for something. He got hurt over there playing Team France in the Olympics in Japan. I'm thinking, that's not fair to my billfold. I got to pay you, but you got hurt. You weren't on the job for me. So how do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what you do.
Thank you.
I really don't know.
Mr. Baseball's been stumped.
I have been stumped.
There you go. So, but it's a legitimate question.
It is.
And they've got 3 years to figure it out. But and you can't tell the guys we don't want you to play. You can't. I mean, you can, but they're not going to do it. If I want to go play representing my country, I want to go play representing my country. You can't tell me I can't. You can, but I'm not going to listen to you because it's a once in a lifetime shot.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Anyway, that's a couple of years down the road, but they're already starting to talk it about and kick it around, if they will. All right, let's take a look at the standings. The hottest team in baseball would be the Cincinnati Reds. They won 5 in a row, 7 out of 10. They're gaining on the Cubs in the Central. They're game and a half out.
Yeah.
What's the turnaround? What's the reasons? We'll start there today. We'll take a look at the Major League Baseball standings.
So pitching's been pretty good lately. even some of the pitchers that had not performed as well earlier in the season have performed better as of late, and the hitting has come around with certain players. There's certain guys that have not, like saw today where Jamer Candelario has gone on the 10-day injured list with a spine strain or something, lower lumbar spine strain.
Spine strain?
That's what they called it.
Wow.
So, he's been the coldest hitter in all of Major League Baseball so far this year. He's
The coldest hitter?
the coldest hitter. Yeah, he is.
What does that mean?
His numbers are bad, really bad. He's.
I've never heard that term.
Yeah, that's how I'll put it. The coldest hitter. His
Why would
numbers
you just not say the
been
worst?
good.
The worst hitter.
Okay, the worst hitter. He has.
The
But
coldest hitter.
yeah, so but they're paying him $15 million a year to be
Oh,
on the team.
I got you. Okay.
And so what do you do with that? So everybody's been kind of saying, boy, the best thing that could happen would be for him to go on the injured list. Well, today he went on the injured list.
Wow.
The Reds have called up Tyler Callahan and Chase Petty. Chase Petty's going to start the second game of that doubleheader tonight in Cincinnati. So
They're playing a double dip, and they got rained out yesterday. Got two of the Cardinals and the Nationals come to town this weekend.
yeah.
So the Cubs lead the Reds in the Central by a game and a half. The Cardinals, dismal. They lost 2 in a row, 7 out of 10. The Pirates are worse. They lost 3 in a row and 7 out of 10. So at some point, the Cardinals aren't going to stay down there from the top, from the management standpoint. So at some point, something's going to give. They're 12 and 17. They've lost 2 in a row, 7 out of 10. So do you see changes with the Cardinals? Or how do you change them?
So the big thing with the Cardinals, and I heard Oliver Malmal ask this question the other night. They're 2 and 12 on the road. That's their big problem. They're 10 and 5 at home, but they're 2 and 12 on the road. And they were asked the question, how do why is this? And he was like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to it. I mean, we just can't seem to win on the road.
2 and 12. That ain't getting it done. So
Yeah.
is he in trouble? Doing a hot seat?
No, probably not yet, because I mean I don't think they've planned to have a typical Cardinals season this year. I think they're retooling. I don't know if they're rebuilding, but they're definitely retooling. Because Arenado was on the trade block. We talked about that a lot.
Yep.
Before the season started. That didn't happen. It probably could have happened, except for his no trade clause. And but if you look at them on paper, they're just not the Cardinals that we're used to seeing. There's not a lot of guys that scare you in that lineup.
So the Arenado scenario. Is he, are we going to dump him, get rid of him? We did, we don't, we didn't, we don't, we didn't. They still got him. Does that mess up the clubhouse morale? Is that part of the problem or not?
It could be. I mean, it could be. I think they need his veteran leadership in the clubhouse, because they do have a lot of younger guys on the team that are getting a much bigger chance now than they ever have had before. And so I think that's something that they need. But I don't know. They didn't go out and get anybody, and that's just not what we typically see with the Cardinals. Usually they're going to try to at least be competitive in their division. This year, the way they prepared their team at the beginning of the season, I didn't see that. I mean, it was just like almost a retooling. I don't want to call it a rebuild yet. It might be, but a retooling, because they just don't seem to think that they're even going to be competitive this year, and I think they're okay with that.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's
an
unusual.
injustice to the fan base.
That is unusual for the Cardinals, because they almost never do something like this. Almost never.
So come buy the season tickets. Come watch us play. We're not going to be good. We're going to tell you that up front, but we want you to come spend money with us. Come on now.
Well, they're 10 and 5 at home. They just can't win an away game.
The Pirates are worse. They lost 3 in a row and 7 out of 10. They're in the cellar right now, the NL Central. And outside of Paul Skeens, who's struggling too, they're not a very good baseball team, obviously. In the East, let's take a look at there. The Mets have won 2 in a row, 8 out of 10. They lead the Phillies in separation there. 4.5 games separate them. Phillies are 4.5 back. Don't look now. Here comes the Bravos. They've won 2 straight, 8 out of 10. They're in third place and making a move. They got the lowly Diamondbacks again today, and then they'll travel tonight, or tomorrow rather, and open up the weekend series with the Dodgers in Atlanta. Woo! So there you go. So the Braves are playing well. Mets are playing well. Phillies are 5-5. They get it over the last 10. They've won 3 in a row. So pretty good division. We kind of figured it'd be those 3, didn't we?
We did, and the Braves have come on, because they started off really, really bad. And, I mean, they went, about 9 games before they had a win, something like that. And then now they're 1 game under 500. So they've really cranked it up a notch. They just sent Jared Kelnick to the minor leagues, which was a little bit of a surprise. But, they're trying to get him fixed. They're trying to figure out, what's wrong with his swing. And they need to get him reps, is what Brian Snicker said. So we're sending him down to find out, help him figure out why he's just not hitting right now. And that's probably a good move. So, and they've got Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back at some point.
So what guy, I'm going to gloat here, what guy did I say when he gets hot, he'll carry the team, and as he goes, they go? Which guy on the Braves team did I say was going to do that?
Matt Olson.
Ding, ding.
You got a bell.
I got my new bell. I got me a bell. So
Awesome.
there you go. Matt Olson. He's gotten hot. Braves have gotten hot. He was terrible in the beginning of the year, so were they. So pitching, they've got Chris Sale on the mound today. So he's 1-2, 1-3. So he's not had that good of a start. But the bottom line is they've won 2 in a row, 8 out of 10. They're nipping at the heels of the Phillies. In the West, since we were here last week, we had talked about the Padres, we talked about the Giants, and now we're talking about the Dodgers. First place, 4 in a row. They've won 6 out of 10. Giants won 6 out of 10. The Padres have lost 7 out of 10. They're in 3rd place, but they're only a game and a half back, so it's a tight division. Even Arizona's in striking distance. They're 4.5 back. And I said the Braves were playing Arizona. I was wrong playing the Colorado Rockies, is what I meant to say. The worst team in baseball, 4-25. That's their getaway game today at 3:10 for the Bravos and Chris Sale.
The Braves did play Arizona just recently.
Yeah, but right now they're playing the Rockies.
Yeah, and,
travel tomorrow, Dodgers this weekend. So
Eugenio Suarez hit those 4 home runs against them. That's only the 19th time in baseball history that has happened, and then only the 3rd time that it's happened for a guy who's played on a losing team. His team lost the game.
So the Dodgers are exactly where we thought they'd be.
Yeah, they're 20-10.
Wow.
They have the 2nd best record in baseball behind the Mets. Mets are 21-9, so they're basically a game ahead of the Dodgers if they were in the same division. And I think the surprise is the Giants. They have just played extremely well. They continue to do that. They had the Little League home run walk-off the other day, if you saw that. Crazy play, I think it was I think they called it a single and 2 errors or something. I don't know what they called it, but he ran all the way around the bases and didn't hit the ball in the infield.
Pretty shoddy defense, I can tell you that.
It was bad. So,
yes, it was bad. So guy gets a home run when a ball should have been out to begin with.
He hit it about 65 feet.
Yeah. Threw it away. Then the relay threw it across the field to kind of get him a third, threw it away, and he jumped up and ran home.
Yeah.
Watering down what happened, but it was a Little League home run of sorts.
It was.
Yeah.
It's something you don't typically see in Major League Baseball for sure.
No. So, anyway, the leaders right now, the Mets by 4.5 in the East. Cubs by 1.5 games with the Reds in the Central. Dodgers a game better than the Giants in the West. In the American League, we'll go to the West first. The Mariners have won 7 out of 10. The Astros have won 7 out of 10. And the Rangers have lost 6 out of 10, but still that whole division is tied. The Angels in last place, only 4.5 out. So it's the Mariners, the Astros, and the Rangers, really a 3-horse race right now. Astros a game back. They're getting hot. They won 7 out of 10. Rangers are a game and a half out. They've lost 6 out of 10. And on top of the leaderboard, the Mariners have won 7 out of 10. So pretty tight race right now.
Yeah, it is. And Jorge Polanco for the Mariners is really a big reason that they are where they are. He, you start looking at some of the numbers for some of these hitters in across baseball this year, and you talk about Aaron Judge and his numbers and stuff like that. Compare his to Jorge Polanco, and they're about the same. They're very similar. So Polanco is really carrying that team right now. I watched a little bit of their game against the Angels last night. I say a little bit because I went to bed not long after it started, but watched a little bit of that game, and they're an impressive team, I got to say. Cal Raleigh is a legitimate major league catcher. I mean, the guy is fantastic. I really like what I see with him. And Seattle's got a good team. There's no doubt about it.
When we talked about the division back in the spring, we talked Astros and Rangers and Angels, and we didn't talk a lot about the Mariners. We talked about Athletics moving and all that, but the Mariners kind of went under the radar, and yet here they are, 17 and 12.
The A's are at 500. Look
Yeah.
at that. I mean, we thought they were going to be really bad, and they're at 500.
Yeah, well, they went out and signed some guys in the offseason.
Yeah,
So
they
this
did.
is trying to strengthen the team a little bit, and apparently it's working. They're 500. The worst team, of course, is the Rockies, then the White Sox at 7-22, which you're going to talk about their division. So that's the two worst teams in baseball right now.
Yeah, the Rockies are 4-25.
Oh, yes. So
I checked the other day. They were on. Now this is a few days ago, and it's gotten worse. Now they were on pace to win 25 games this season, and it's gotten worse since then. So.
In the Central, Detroit leads the Guardians by a game and a half. Cleveland's won 6 out of 10. The Royals have caught fire. They were going backwards, and now they've won 7 out of 10. They're 500. They're only 3 back, so pretty tight division here. The Twins are hanging. They're 4 under. They're 5 games out, but right now it's Detroit in first, then Cleveland and Kansas City. What do you think about that division?
Yeah, I think Detroit's still the team to beat. You know, that's the team that I really thought would win that division. I think they still got a great chance of doing that, of course, but don't count the Royals out. I think they're going to make some noise before the season's over. And Cleveland's Cleveland. You know, they as long as they have Jose Ramirez, they're going to be competitive, I think. And no matter who else they put on the field, it seems like he can carry that team.
We talk about this every week. We don't say much about the Guardians yet. There they are. They've won 6 out of 10. They're a game and a half out. In the East, the Yankees are a game and a half better than the Red Sox for all they've been doing, and they're pretty impressive. They're 18 and 12. They're 6 over. Here's the Red Sox. They won 3 straight, 6 out of 10. They're making some noise. And then right there are the Rays. And then you come back with Toronto, who's in the tank. They lost 8 out of 10. The Orioles, what a disappointment. They've lost 7 out of 10. For me, that's the biggest disappointment so far in the season are the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, Baltimore, on paper, they look better than what they've played, for sure. And, you know, I'm a little concerned about their pitching. I think their pitching's really the reason that they're probably where they are. I mean, they've got some good young players like Gunnar Henderson and Jackson Holiday, you know, up the middle. Those two guys. I mean, when you got a guy that's a legitimate shortstop playing second base for you because you've got an even better shortstop playing there, you know, that's pretty good. And, you know, they got some guys I really like. I really like Ryan Mountcastle and Adley Rutzman. You know, Cedric Mullins has been playing better actually than I thought he would. He's been playing better than he did last year. And that's good. You know, I like to see that because I'm a big fan of his. But I think their pitching is really their big issue, and they're going to have to figure that out.
We're going to start something new today. He doesn't know this. I'm not told him that, but we're going to start something new today. Yep. We're going to put him to the test. We'll do it. We did this a couple of years ago. But we'll do it again.
Oh, no.
But we're going to do pitcher and catcher. I'm going to name a team, and I want him to know, or not to know, but to tell me, in his opinion, who is the name that you remember on the team as a pitcher and as the best hitter and the best pitcher on the team all time. So he doesn't even know what team I'm going to ask him first, but I'm going to ask him the first team.
How many teams you going to ask me?
One a week.
One a week, okay.
One a week.
All right, one a week.
One a week.
And no notice as to who it's going to be.
Because we did before, I'd say, okay, who's the face of this franchise?
Yeah, okay.
And we did that 2 or 3 years ago. So this is the pitcher's face of the franchise and the hitter's face of the franchise. So the first team I'm going to ask you about, in no particular order, I'm just going to do it, would be the Chicago Cubs. Who is the pitcher? When you say who's the all-time greatest Cubs pitcher, you would say blank. All-time greatest Cubs hitter, you would say blank. Who would that be, sir? This is a off-the-cuff, didn't know it was coming.
Wow, all time. So we're going back a long ways with the Cubs. I mean, we got to remember Grover Cleveland Alexander pitched for the Cubs. He was pretty good. Okay, if you want to ask me that, who I think, I'm going to say pitcher Ferguson Jenkins.
Ferguson Jenkins, exactly.
That's who I'm going to say.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, because he played for them for a long time. You know, he played for the Phillies and the Rangers as well, and had a great career, Hall of Fame career. But I still think of him as a Cub, and he would be my choice as the best pitcher in Cubs history. Position player, I think golly. I mean, you go way back. They had some hosses, back in the day, like Hack Wilson and
Billy Williams.
But I've got to go, I think, Ernie Banks.
Ernie Banks.
I got to say Ernie Banks.
Ron Sandberg.
Ron Sandberg can be in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They had Andre Dawson for a few years. He had a fantastic year in 1984. I mean, one of the best seasons ever, I think. But I think I'm going to go Ernie Banks.
So pitchers, Fergie Jenkins, and the franchise all-time best hitter for the Cubs would be Ernie Banks.
I'm going Ernie Banks.
All right. There's no right or wrong answer. I just thought I'd ask Mr. Baseball that question.
Yeah.
So every week we're going to do one. He is not going to know who it is.
Okay.
Just has to be ready. And he had no clue. He looked at me like, really? We're going to do this? Yeah, we're going to do it. Absolutely. So Fergie Jenkins, pitcher. Ernie Banks, hitter. Can't go wrong with those. I guess you would argue... I really don't. I can't think of another pitcher. But there have been some good ones there. Nobody jumps out at me like Fergie. Hitting, certainly Sandberg.
Greg Maddux, maybe. He spent some time in
But he's
Chicago.
really known more as a Brave.
He is, yeah.
So, hitting-wise, again, as I said, Billy Williams, Ernie Banks,
512 home runs, and played his whole career for the Cubs.
Sandberg,
yeah, you got it. One of the best second basemen of all time, for sure.
So, anyway.
Yeah, but I'm going Ernie Banks.
We'll go with that. So, there you go. Everything else going good? Let me run down the schedule today. We've got Cardinals and Reds at 12:40. They're getting ready to crank it up here in about 2 minutes. Yeah. Part of that doubleheader. Other day games: Detroit and Houston. The Dodgers hosting Miami. Chris Sale against Chase Dollander. The Rockies at 3:10. Before the Braves head back home to battle the Dodgers this weekend. A couple more day games: the Angels in Seattle, San Diego, and San Francisco. It's an interesting series there at Petco Park in San Diego.
The Dodgers have to love that one.
Mm-hmm. Want to beat each other up.
Yeah.
And just
somebody's going to fall behind
if
they can win.
Let them thrash each other.
Yeah, if the Dodgers can win, they're going to pick up a game on somebody.
We'll be above the fray. You got it. Then tonight under the lights, Minnesota, Cleveland, the Orioles and the Yankees in Baltimore, Cubs in Pittsburgh, Cincinnati in that second game hosting the Cardinals, Washington and Philadelphia, the Royals in Tampa Bay, Red Sox in Toronto tonight, the Mets hosting Arizona, Milwaukee and the White Sox in Chicago, and the Rangers in Arlington hosting what are the Athletics? They are the Sacramento Athletics.
Really, I don't think they're called anything.
We call them what
the Athletics, Sacramento, I guess.
Just because they can, you're not supposed to.
That's what we call them, Sacramento Athletics.
Yeah, the PR department, the Athletics, said you can't call them anything with Athletics. I'll call them what I want to call them.
We probably can't call them Oakland anymore.
No,
I guess,
I'll call them Oakland if I want to. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
I'm over in East Tennessee to what I want to.
Philadelphia or Kansas City if you want to.
That's
They've been in both of those cities too. So that franchise has been known to move around a little bit.
They bounce a little bit, yeah.
I mean, they started in Philadelphia and went to Kansas City, then ended up in Oakland. Now they're in Sacramento and probably going to end up in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
So
yeah. So is Manfred talking more about expansion? I mean, he was at one point all hot to trot.
Have not heard a lot about expansion lately. Here's something I think might be interesting. I think they're going to look at this game in Bristol in August and possibly think about a team in Nashville. I really think that's a possibility because I think Nashville will be one of the most logical places you put a team if they're going to expand.
Or Charlotte, one of those two.
Nashville or Charlotte, either one. Charlotte's even closer for us.
Yeah,
but one of those.
I'm with you. I think they're looking real strong. I think this is a trial balloon to see how it's going to go in Bristol.
Because this will be the first Major League Baseball game that counts that has been played in Tennessee.
And it is a regional game involving the two teams that would be, to a point, part of the fan base in Nashville, depending on where the franchise is. But you still got the Reds and the Braves.
Right.
Maybe in Nashville, maybe more going that far west, 5 hours, maybe more Cubs and Cardinals, maybe.
Yeah,
but
maybe Cardinals, I would think.
So, but yes, I think it's very much a trial balloon. That's why they're pushing all this. Got Johnny Bench in for the race and got Manfred talking it up, and it's the Speedway Classic, and I think it very much is let's see how this does, and we're going to get, there is a backup plan. There's a plan B out of all this.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of it. So.
Yeah. But Rob Manfred has made a comment that he's going to make a ruling very soon about Pete Rose.
Yeah.
and he has indicated that he has talked to the President of the United States concerning that.
Yep.
And gotten his input. I find that interesting. I'd love to know what the President's input would be
Yep.
on that, which he said he's going to give Pete Rose a full pardon posthumously.
Yeah.
So,
Well, his side of the fence is going to be the tax side of it.
right.
Speaking of Trump, now Manfred, as you have said before on the show, Manfred has no control of the Hall of Fame.
Right.
It's a separate entity
Right.
under the umbrella of baseball, but they're their own thing, right?
Right. The
Yeah.
only thing is they have said that as long as a player is not in good standing with Major League Baseball, they will not consider them for the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
So
that's
Trump
the only
pardons
thing you
him.
can do. That would just be a pardon from what he was convicted of, back in the 80s, or I guess it was in the 90s,
Yeah.
where he spent a little bit of time in jail for some tax evasion on some autograph signings that he didn't pay taxes on.
Yep.
So, how many guys you think have done that?
Probably more we want to know.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't think he's the only one.
Yeah.
He just happened to get caught.
Not.
He just happened to get caught.
Yeah.
So, but he was dumb enough, I don't know dumb enough, but he was pretty arrogant about it when they continued to, which that was Pete's MO from time to time. He'd be arrogant about a lot of things.
Yeah, he could.
So he would rub you the wrong way, and even his own teammates would say, Pete, just chill it. Just come on down here, buddy. Quit being so adamant.
And I think a lot of it was just his competitive spirit too.
Yep.
He wanted to win at all costs. I mean, he wanted to win, and he played in more winning baseball games than any other player in baseball history.
Yep. So there you go. So we'll see if he gets the pardon, and then does he get in the Hall of Fame? It's a shame if he does, because he's not going to be able to enjoy it. His family will, but he won't.
Yeah.
They're wearing the 14 patch on their shoulder, aren't they?
They are.
Aren't they having Pete Rose Day coming up next
They
month?
are. It is May the 14th, and everybody in attendance in Cincinnati for that game will get a Pete Rose jersey.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
On the 14th day of May for number 14.
14th day of May, they'll get number 14. It's a.
Good night.
It is a.
Hello, Deuce.
It is a.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. That's right.
Yeah, he's fixing to be on the show. He'll know that.
Oh, okay.
We'll let him be on here in a second.
So it's an old style, mid '70s style away jersey. It says Cincinnati across the front. It's gray.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice looking jersey.
Yeah.
Away. To everybody in attendance, not just a certain number.
Everybody.
Everyone in attendance for that game will get one.
Deservedly so.
Yeah.
Pete Rose. Mr. Hustle. Charlie Hustle.
And tickets are almost gone for that game too. I mean, it's going to be a sellout, I would think, for sure.
That'd be a good one to go see if you could see it.
Yeah, it would be.
All right, Mr. Baseball. Back here next Wednesday to do it all over again.
Yes, sir.
So the Cubs are Fergie Jenkins and Ernie Banks. There you go.
That's my pick. I mean, you could go way back and,
That's all right. We got it.
Grover Cleveland Alexander maybe, but.
I think you got the right ones.
Okay.
Enjoy your lunch, sir.
Yes, sir. I
See you
will.
next week. We'll be
Okay.
right back with more from Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. It's lunchtime. It's busy here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street, right down from Best Buy on the Tom Dolan Sports Show.
This is Pastor Mark Fowler, and we want to invite you to be with us at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church sometime soon. And we're thankful for what God is doing, and we've had visitors almost every week. We have so many people that God is using His Word to accomplish a work in their life. And we want you to come. Now, I think about our society today, and there's a lot of talk about the negative aspects and generations and what's missing and what we're going to do and how do we face this social issue and how do we face that social issue. And that is always the buzz. And if we're not careful, we talk like God doesn't have an answer. 2 Timothy chapter 3 we looked at the other night together in our church, and it reminds us that yes, in the last days there's going to be some difficult things come, dangerous times, but the antidote is always God's Word. And so what we're trying to do is to provide Bible answers for today's tough questions. And we're building Believers by the Book. So we want your family to come. We're thankful to have a Sunday school hour and a junior church and master clubs and a youth group and all those things going on. But what we're trying to accomplish is to get the Word of God into the hearts and minds of God's people.
I don't even think the camera will fit both of us. I mean, the angle. Look at this guy.
Close enough.
You've been working out, haven't you?
Trying to stay healthy. You know, it's tough once you're done playing ball.
He stopped by here to get food. He said, I got to go. I said, I'm going to keep you 2 minutes. This is Deuce Morton, folks. 3-time state champ, wrestling. 3 times, back to back to back. 2 state championship rings. You got 5 rings, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So he's going to help me do a couple of baseball or football games. We're at 100 and I can tell you. And you're getting ready to head off, right? You got a job offer?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Tell them about it. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm moving up to Columbus, Ohio. I'll be working at Abercrombie and Fitch's corporate office up there in Columbus, Ohio. So it's exciting. Be a new move in life. You know, football and school's over, but
yep.
I'm excited about that. Excited for those next steps. So I think it'll be fun.
What will you be doing at Abercrombie and Fitch?
Business analyst. I'll be a business analyst up there. That's what my degree's in. So I'll be doing that type of work for them.
114 days to kickoff.
That's exciting. It's hard to believe.
It is hard to
Summer
believe.
will fly by and every time.
Yes.
I'm
You
sure
miss
they're
it?
working hard. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where at first you're kind of relieved, your body's relieved, but then you get to the point where you start missing it. I definitely miss it, and just kind of miss being with some of my buddies. And there's no bond or feeling like being on the football field with your brothers, but it's one of those things where you guys kind of have to find some new things to fulfill those things. And so, a lot of people go the coaching route, and there's all types of different things you can do there, volunteering and stuff like that. And so, I've been training a little bit, just trying to help some kids out where I can, and did that in wrestling too. And so I've enjoyed that a lot. It's been a pleasure to do that.
Last time I saw you was at the John Clark Classic. You've gotten bigger since then. You've been beefed up some.
Well,
You've been pounding the weights?
That. Yeah, I've been trying to work out a lot. My body feels a lot better, a lot healthier now that I'm not playing ball, and so I feel like I can lift and it not be a hassle or feel as bad. So yeah, I'm hopefully start cutting here soon. Use some of those wrestling skills to cut some weight and slim down a little bit and just be healthy and enjoy life.
There you go. So I got him. We'll get him as long as I can get him. So you're moving in October, right?
Yeah, I'll be moving in October more than likely. I'll find out in the next 30 days what the exact date is.
Yeah.
But they said it would be probably around October.
Need you to put your number down so I can keep track of
Yes,
my man.
sir, 100%.
Deuce Morton is going to help me do some ball games.
Yeah,
Why
that'll
would
be
he
fun.
not?
I'm excited for that.
All-time leading tackler at Elizabethton football. This guy right here, 3-time state champ. See, weight classes. The first year you won in what weight class?
195 and then 195 for sophomore and junior, and then 220 senior year.
We just talked about you yesterday.
Really?
Coach Morrell and I did a soccer game together.
Okay.
We were talking about his wrath at Clevenger with 44-3, I think is what he said.
Impressive, yeah. Had a great season.
Yeah. So we started talking, and your dad was watching the soccer, and he said Deuce was 155 and 23 with 100 pins out of the 155.
It's hard to believe. He knows more about it than I do. I don't know. I just try to go out there and win,
That's what he said. Because we were talking about who's the all-time winningest wrestler, and it's you. 155, I think he said, in 23. Or 153 and 23. 155 and 23. Does that sound right? You lost 23 times? That don't sound right.
Yeah,
Really?
freshman, sophomore year.
Okay.
And then you'd go to bigger. We went to a lot of larger tournaments, in Nashville and some of these areas, and wrestled some. I wrestled multiple other state champions from other states, and as a freshman and sophomore, you get beat up a little bit. It's part of it's how you get better. But I believe like senior year I lost once. Junior year I think I lost 3 times. So. And all those to state champions or runner-ups in other states. And so, it's one of those sports where any given day you can lose. It's just you and somebody else. It's not a team sport. When in football, a lot of times you can miss a play, and so your buddy might have your back, right? Your will linebacker might have your back, but in wrestling, there's nobody else there.
It's you versus them.
Yeah, and so it can be one of those sports where you have an off day and things just don't go your way. So. It's an awesome sport. It's an amazing sport. I encourage anybody who maybe just plays football to try it out and commit to it, because I think it made me a better football player, and vice versa. I think football made me a better wrestler.
He walks in, get his food. I put him here. Why am I going to have him on to a ball game? You just heard the guy's so articulate. There's no does and us. Boom. He talks. He talks with authority. Can't wait to have him on the broadcast. 114 days. First game's right over here. Sign seal. You got memory.
I look forward to it.
You got memories of Kermit Tipton Stadium.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have lots of memories with some of my fellow former teammates, and we we had that losing streak for many years,
Mhm.
and we decided to turn it around a little bit and give it right back to them, and we really enjoyed beating them, whether it was there or whether it was at Elizabeth. And so that was, some good memories. Some of the better memories. That first game, you look through, as soon as the season ends, like that's what you're looking forward to. It's Science Hill and Greenville usually most years. I mean, that's the two games you're excited for.
That's the 2 circle.
Yeah.
This year it's the first one and the last one, both on the road this year. So.
Yeah. And I think Science Hill is growing as a program. In 6A especially, it's a tough division. Both them and Dolphins Minutes the previous years have had continued success and are getting better, I think, in that 6A division.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's just going to get tougher each year for Elizabethton to continue to beat these larger schools. But it's something that I think we can continue to do with great coaching like we have and an awesome talent. So it's just going to take kids, every year they're going to have to elevate themselves just like these other schools are doing. Nobody wants to lose to a 4A school or to a smaller, city year after year, and so they're going to continue to elevate themselves. And so I look forward to seeing what Elizabeth is able to do this year.
Talk soon. I know you got to go. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
The Deuce Man. Good night. Looks like a side of a wall on 2 legs. He's a hoss. So he is a heck of a nice guy. Great kid. Parents have done well raising that young'un right there. He is top shelf. Deuce Morton just stopped by. He is going to be helping me do ball games some this year, and I'm excited about that. 114 days. We'll have Coach Van Us and Eddie Pless helping too, but he's going to jump in there. I just found out he's moving, so until he moves, we'll work him as much as we can work him, and it'll be a good thing because he's a great, great kid. All right, he's not a kid anymore. He's a young man. 3-time state champ. Back-to-back state champs in wrestling, which is not easy to do. And then he won 2 more rings with the football team. He got one of these. He earned his. I didn't. I got mine from being the announcer. I got the 19. This is the 20. This is the 2020 championship ring. This is the 2019 championship ring. I didn't make the first tackle, make the first catch, but Coach Whitten was gracious enough to say, "You called our games for us. You're the announcer with the Cyclones. We want to get you the rings." And I said, "I'll wear them with pride. I wear them every day." So, in large part, those guys like that right there, Deuce Morton, helped me get that ring because of the efforts he had on that football field. Oh, he was a stud. Lawsy mercy. I can still remember him intercepting that ball at William Blunt. I thought that was a turnaround game of the whole season, turnaround play. We came from behind, intercepted the ball, ran it back for a touchdown. That kind of jump-started our season to take us on down the road, I thought. And Sean thought the same thing. We sit back and talked about that. And so it was special time with Deuce Morton. So glad to see him stop by here and pick up some food and got him back on the radar, and he said, yes, looking forward to helping you do football games. So there you go. First one will be here in 114 days, here meaning in Johnson City against Science Hill. Then we go to the Stone Castle for Tennessee High, then back home with the home opener against Westridge. So we're going to work him all we can work him. Quick break. One more break. We'll come right back. We'll wrap this thing up. We're on the road. We're on the road today here again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Tomorrow we're going to be at Cannon's Furniture. Oh, yes. They got all kinds of deals going on right now for Mother's Day. You go to the website, Cannon's Fine Home Furnishing, or I should say go to Facebook. They got all kinds of deals going on, and we'll talk about those tomorrow with Daryl Cannon, the owner of the store. Then Friday, where am I at Friday? Friday, I'm off Friday, I think. I think I get a day off. That's good. It's going to be a long week. Tomorrow will be the tour of schools. The first tour of schools tomorrow, brought to you by Northeast Community Credit Union, will be tomorrow. We will start things off at Westside Elementary tomorrow morning from 9 till 10. Then tomorrow we'll do the show from Cannons, and then tomorrow afternoon at 4:40 we will do Cyclone baseball. So we got 3 things going tomorrow. A lot of talking tomorrow. So we'll rest up on Friday after talking all day tomorrow. Quick break back after this from the Eagle Center on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Great sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Folks, never been here. What's going on at the Eagle Center? Tell me about it.
Well, we have so many good things going on. I have wonderful vendors who keep their booths stocked fresh and organized and neat and with new things all the time, great prices, a great selection. We have 2 floors and almost 50 vendors, and you won't see the same thing twice.
A waiting list to get here, downtown Elizabeth in the Eagle Center. Again, it is open, what's your hours?
We're open 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Closed on Sunday.
Closed on
Pretty
Sunday.
obvious. So, anything you want, again, what's your little catchphrase you always say?
Things tell a story when people no longer can.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the neatest thing about the Eagle Center? You own the place. What do you think is the neatest thing?
There's so many neat things. You know, so many people have this idea of what an antique store is. We have a little bit of new, a little bit of old, and a lot of in between. It's clean. It's not musty and smelly. It's well lit. It's fun. I mean, there are so many things here to add character and conversation to your homes, gift ideas. We could go on and on. It's a really great store.
How do we find you on social media?
You find us on Facebook, the Eagle Center Co-op, and then on Instagram, it's Eagle Center Antiques.
And the magic phone number is?
The number is 542-6674.
Here you go. One of our great sponsors in downtown Elizabethton, the Eagle Center. Proud sponsor of the Tom Lewis Sports Show and Elizabethton Cyclone Sports. And that's going to do it for the show. Again, in the second inning, Cardinals lead the Reds 1-0 in Cincinnati. That doubleheader being played in Cincinnati today. That'll do it. Again, big thank you to our guest, Greg Sager, Mr. Baseball, and, of course, Andrew Smith, sports writer for the Johnson City Press. Back with you tomorrow. Got a triple hitter of fun tomorrow. We'll be on the road tomorrow morning from 9 to 10. We'll be at Westside Elementary with the tour of schools brought to you by Northeast Community Credit Union. Then we'll roll right back into the Tom Davis Sports Show tomorrow, show number 2279 tomorrow at Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings. And hello, lady, how are you? I'm doing good, thank you. And then we'll wrap things up tomorrow, which will be a biggie, 4:40 airtime, 5 o'clock first pitch, Cyclone Baseball. Number one team in the Upper Lakes Conference, ranked 8th in the state, will take on either Crockett or Sullivan East. That'll be determined tonight. They'll play each other at 6 at Thomas Stadium, and we'll bring you that one tomorrow. Audio only, beginning at 4:40 tomorrow. So all that coming up. And also thanks to Deuce Morton stopped by. He'll be coming through the building. We grabbed him, put him on the air. What a great kid. What a great young man, I'm telling you. The Morton family, Mom and Daddy, have done a great job with raising him and Maddox. They're good kids, which is his sister. So we're out of here. We gave you the verse today, didn't we? I think we did. If not, we'll give it again. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross, and here we go. Let's give it to you one more time. I think I gave it to you at the start of the show. If I didn't, we're going to do it again. It's okay. So it is here. Excuse me. Psalms 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." God can heal any pain, a broken body and or a broken heart. As we wait for God's healing, we don't give up. We don't. We need to believe that He can and will fully restore us however He chooses to do so. Until then, we need to allow Him to comfort us and give us the strength we need to keep going. Amen. Hit that bell. Bring it back where you can hear it. Is it broke? Can't be broke. It's bought the thing. Psalms 34:18, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Good way to end it. Thanks for watching show number 2278. Rejoining you again tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for a triple header coverage, again starting with the tour of schools at Westside Elementary, showcasing great kids doing great things for an hour on Westside Elementary's timetable tomorrow, brought to you by Northeast Community Credit Union. Then we'll do the Tom Davis Sports Show from 11 to 1 from Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings, and then we'll truck off to East Tennessee State, Thomas Stadium, to bring you Cyclone Baseball against the either Crockett Pioneers or the Sullivan East Patriots tomorrow, beginning at 4:40. Until then, we'll say, as always, bloom where you planted, and win or lose, be a good sport. And thanks for watching show number 2278 today from Chick-fil-A in Johnson City, People Street here at the Crossings, right down from Best Buy. Show number 2278 of the Tom Davis Sports Show. See you back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.